Skicks here. Yesterday, 2 customers called me ma'am. It's been a while since this has happened. Obviously, they weren't looking at my face, but they had heard me speak, and I was kind of in serving them. So they saw, kind of peripherally, and it bothered me. And it bothered me that it bothered me. When I was a kid and didn't have the beard yet, I got mammed all the time. I was a long-haired, hippie kind of guy too, but still. But why would it bother me? About a week or 2 ago, someone watched one of my videos and says, Skicks, your voice is higher than I thought it would be. That bothered me too. My father was my same height, had a very similar voice. No acting or singing, so it was a little bit less modulated, but it tended to be more or less like this, maybe even a little higher. And later in life it tended to get more higher and nasal, like a little like this. And in college they called him Mousy. Now, I don't like gender stereotyping. It bugs me. I think back to times I was a kid, maybe 5. Some friends and I were discussing what our favorite colors were, and I said, yellow. Yellow. And I was told, you can't have yellow, that's a girl's color. So I said, okay, blue, because blue was safely boyish. And I considered blue my favorite color from then on. Until, I don't know, fairly recently, I remembered, I had remembered that story, but only fairly recently did I realize, oh my God, I've been calling blue my favorite color since that day. I still like blue, I like green, and I like yellow. And obviously, most of you will be shaking your heads and say, yellow's not a girl's color. It doesn't matter, though. At that time, it was important for me to not be associated with being a girl. There were girls in the group, but there's sort of a derisiveness in having a boy choose a girl's color. In junior high, they had this gag where they tell you to look at your fingernails. And if you looked at your fingernails like that, you're a boy, and like that, you're a girl. Guess how I looked at my fingernails? Stupid, right? But it got to me. And from then on, like this. When startled, I used to kind of squeal. I remember one afternoon specifically practicing what sort of noise to make if I was scared. So that even to this day, I'll go, rah! Down low. And it was even more pronounced before I hit puberty. So like I had this little boy's voice and I go, rah! If you startled me. Which would sometimes startle them back. But it was so important for me to not be girly or effeminate. And I don't exactly know where that came from. And I think in part I secretly rebelled against that in high school, where I wore my hair long, would occasionally wear women's clothing, eyeliner. I used to go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show and paint my nails black and do gothy things, and then later I would occasionally do drag, only once without the beard. Always going for sort of a gender fuck. And I don't know. If someone asked me, are you masculine or feminine, it's like asking me, are you a proton or a neutron? I'm neither, but I contain both. How do you answer that? I mean, in stereotypical ways, I know more about interior design than automobiles. I don't like football. or, hardly any sports. I'm gay. I don't know, I know how to walk in heels. I read, I do my homework. Well, okay, I didn't do my homework much. Which apparently is feminine. But, I like to get my hands dirty and hike and do some things that are typically masculine. But none of those things feels feminine or masculine to me. It's kind of like being colorblind. I don't have a sense that this is one thing and that is another thing. I sort of have to memorize clues. As a colorblind person, sort of has to memorize it, that green is the top one and red is the bottom one. So, where does that leave me? I don't know. I like the beard, but it's not a particularly masculine beard. I don't know. It pisses me off when people out me. Oh, hey, he's gay, obviously. Ha ha ha. What? And if pressed to give details, it's things like, I've got long hair. I speak eloquently. I don't know, I guess maybe my gestures, I don't know. But nothing makes me more self-conscious than trying to not appear gay. And what's wrong with appearing gay? It's harder to pick up boys if no one knows. So I get stuck in this straight acting, male acting bullshit, and it means nothing. And I think it's getting to me more since I moved from Southern California to Maine. I don't know what to do with it. It's just something that's come up in conversation once or twice, and it's kind of been playing in my head. I don't know. I'd love an answer. I'd love a point. I don't seem to have one. But, there you have it. Gender confused.